we're talking about interpreting a narcissist's language. And of course, here in studio with us, he entered with a dance. His name is Benjamin Zulu. Karibu sana to the show.
Asante.
Good to have you here.
Good, thank you.
I'm certain we've had this conversation with you once before, but in a slightly different context. But today we want to dive in specifically on the actual language of a narcissist. But for those who missed that episode, and maybe even just for those who don't understand what a narcissist is in the first place, just explain that for us.
A narcissist is a self-absorbed person who is they're just in love with themselves. And number two, this is a person who completely lacks empathy for other people, any feeling for other people. And this is a person who lacks the ability to motivate or to persuade you. They use power instead. So where normal people use persuasion, where normal people request, where normal people love you until you love them back, for narcissists, that's too much work. Simply control you. So the first thing to know, when a narcissist says, I love you, remember they don't have the ability. That's too much work. Love is vulnerable because you might say no. If I just love you, you might turn me down. They can't risk that. Okay. So when they use love, they're using the language you're used to. But really what they mean is, I would like to take over your life.
Oy. So what makes a person narcissistic? How do they become this?
That's a whole topic altogether, but I'll tell you a few origins of narcissism. Be careful with people who had traumatized childhood. They could have been oriented to another direction of life. And instead of choosing to heal, they choose to take that path of, we call it maladaptive approach to life. For example, if they were rejected or if they were crushed in childhood, there are people who heal and become as normal. In fact, they use that pain to understand others more, to be more empathetic. But some people with troubled childhood, they grow into becoming narcissists. And it's a choice. People think it's predisposition, I don't know, it's nature, narcissism, pride, being manipulative, all these are choices. Yeah.
Okay. Are there particular phrases then that a narcissist would use? Because you've said, be careful. They could tell you, I love you, but kumbe it's, I want to control you. So how am I going to know if a person is narcissistic or not?
Number one, they try to act. Narcissism are perfect actors. So that to the outsiders, they're angels. But at home, they're an animal.
Okay.
And that isolates you because you can't explain to people that the same people you see being so polished is tormenting me.
Yeah.
So they use the language you expect. But this is what they mean. I'll tell you what, because you see the actions.
Okay.
They will tell you that you're ugly. What they really mean is, they tell you you're ugly, nobody wants you, only me wants you.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what they tell you. The real thing they mean is you are beautiful and I'm threatened. That's what they mean. They will tell you that you are stupid. What they really mean is you are more intelligent than me. When they say you're worthless, useless, they say, I know I don't deserve you. That's what they mean. When they tell you nobody likes you, it's because...
You mean to pay a chance?
Yes. What they mean is I've been slandering you. They slander you out there. They portray in a very bad picture. And they come tell you nobody likes you. And it's them who are trying to taint you in a bad image. When they tell you, I want you back, they even kneel down, they look, they apologize. Nobody apologizes better than a narcissist.
Yeah.
When you decide to leave, you see they can't afford to lose you.
Yeah.
They act, they apologize. But let me warn you, you pay for that apology. Because apology is very humiliating for them. So when they say sorry, what they mean is, oh, now I'll change. That's what they tell you. I'll change. I've learned my mistake. I've learned my lesson. They use the language you expect. What they mean is, I will say anything to make you stay, to stop you from leaving. The moment you come back, it doesn't take a while before they go back. The narcissistic abuse has a cycle. There's usually tensions building, tensions build. Then the incident happens, an incident of abuse. Then there's apology. There's tension, escalation, incident, apology, honeymoon. Tensions start building, they escalate. And then there's the incident happening. You abuse. Then during the abuse, you might decide, I'm going.
So are narcissists, is it that they may not necessarily be physically violent, but they're just emotionally abusive?
And we need to say this, Joyce. People should stop waiting for physical abuse.
Yeah.
You can be damaged emotionally. But the Joyce, the most important thing about you is not physical. If something pricks you and you bleed, we can treat that. And next week it will mean nothing. But if somebody pricks your self-esteem and injures your confidence until you think you're somewhat not that good, now that is a bigger injury. Because although it is invisible, it will stop you from reaching for your goals in life, from trying, from achieving. So there are abusers who just focus on emotional abuse, and it is very severe. So we were saying, after the incident, they usually come, you might decide to leave. Now they apologize. They can even treat you very well so that you come back. The apology and the honeymoon is usually short-lived. Then the tensions start building again. So the language they use, you need to know. Although they use the language you're used to, the best way to identify a narcissist, there are some things they will say without intending. For example, nini umevaa? Umevaa hiyo ukienda wapi? No normal adult would ask you that. Who is that you're talking to? Sometimes they try to pretend that, but when you're talking on phone, they're threatened. Remember we said they must isolate you from people because people will tell you the truth.
Yeah.
People will tell you what they can see. So they must isolate you from people. When somebody can ask you, and remember he's talked about financial suffocation. The moment you see somebody trying to suffocate you financially, to stop you from earning, let's say you became expectant, they use a child as a perfect excuse. Our child needs you, quit that job, come take care, we'll look for another one.
The child needs you too.
In this country...
What? The child needs you too.
I wish girls could
Takes two
emulate
to
you.
tango.
I wish girls would think like you.
That's my relationship advice.
They usually use a child as a perfect excuse. In this country, quitting a job, after ingine, where will you get another in this country?
Yeah.
Just get a maternity leave, then from there organize your life. Get an assistant, do daycare, do anything. But you need to maintain. But you see, when you have money, you have power. And they wanted to remove you all power, all options. Now, others, we said, if they cannot stop you from working, they'll borrow money from you or put you under a loan or leave all the responsibilities to you, somehow to depart you from your money. They will do something to depart you from your money so that you can depend on them. So we are saying the language you know that you're dealing with the narcissist is when they're using control. And sometimes they're subtle, but it is very effective. They can even move physically to another place where you're very far away from the people you're used to.
Okay.
Others will even slander you among your work colleagues. They try to destroy your name so that you are ashamed and you're isolated. You remain with that person alone. Now, remember, if by growing up you realize you have a compelling need to comply, wewe jiangalie, and you're very compliant. Maybe you came up under a narcissist father. Remember, sometimes if you have been oriented by an abuser, you're being prepared to comply to abusers generally.
Wow.
In between that father and your husband, you need therapy in between.
Yeah.
Contact a person and talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to be taking a break in just a short moment here, but as I did mention, while we were having our devotion today, we're talking about controlling the tongue. Someone texted in saying, "Hey Joyce, nothing hurts more like being emotionally bullied by your husband. He says mean things to me, and then ananiuliza, are you okay? Me and you, are we good?" That sounds like a clear narcissist, right?
Yeah. In fact, they minimize the injury they did to you. Sasa
hii kitu ndogo ndio nakasirikia.
Yes. So when you hear people minimizing the hurt, we said the definition of a narcissist, they lack empathy. The day you see a person who hurts you and they don't feel it, you're most likely dealing with a narcissist.
Wow.
If they hurt you and they have no feeling for it. Another thing is, even if those who are beaten physically, they ask, "Now you are not even bleeding. Why are you saying, I hit you only slightly?" They start explaining, minimizing the things they did to you. Don't enter that kind of negotiation. Next time we'll talk about how to get out, how to early, you'd identify early, and because after they get you under their hook, they don't let you go.
Yeah. Hey, let's take a break, guys, and you can continue sending in your feedback and your questions to 22999. We're talking about identifying a narcissist's language, okay? And we'd love to hear your experiences as well, so that Benjamin can help you out as much as he can while he's here in studio with us. And we'll be back after this short break. Stay tuned.